This video has the truth you do not want to hear, so for the love of my channel, I beg of you, please don't hate me after this information.
Prepare yourself, Dan Saiyan.
I have a question for you. Make sure to go in the comments below and answer it. Which is your favorite fusion type? Potara or Fusion Dance? Which one do you like better and why? Let me know in the comment section below. And while you're down there, don't forget to slap that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Show YouTube you want to see more of my content. Let's go ahead and rewind the clock back to the Tournament of Power. Goku faces off against Kefla, and in this battle, Goku is completely outmatched, not only in terms of strength, but also in terms of speed. And during this fight, Vados explains Kefla's power as the power of Caulifla and Kale. Both of those powers fused together in their entirety, multiplied by tens of times. So it is an extremely powerful individual, and one that Goku in his normal transformations could not get past, and he had to rely on a technique, Ultra Instinct Omen, to ultimately defeat Kefla. And that was the first showcase that it basically made it obvious that we're moving away from fusion, and these new techniques, new abilities, they're going to be taking up the void of the fusions that we know. Potara and Fusion Dance are out the window. Now I hear you saying, well, Blackscape, that's an interesting theory, but you know, Dragon Ball Super Broly happened, and in that movie, well, you know, Gogeta, a little guy named Gogeta, he came out of nowhere and just defeated Broly. So what are you saying that it's saying that fusion is basically out the door, and you know, the transformations that we have and the techniques that we have, they're going to fill that void when we have a fusion character defeating a character whose power is the power of transformation? Well, my astute viewer, the first thing I gotta say is that you're not wrong. Got a good head on your shoulders, and you deserve a pat on the back and a cookie. You are technically right with the movie, but here I'm going to explain why I believe that they used Gogeta in the movie instead of Ultra Instinct. Now this is my own belief, so take it with a grain of salt and just leave it up for discussion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But I believe that at the end of Dragon Ball Super, we weren't quite sure if they were going to continue to use Master Ultra Instinct. That's why Goku said that he didn't know if he can go back into it. Obviously, this overlaps with the movie, and in the movie, since they didn't really know if they're going to go back to Ultra Instinct in the anime, and they also at the exact same time probably weren't quite sure how to use Ultra Instinct Goku versus Broly in a satisfying way. They used the next best thing, something that has as much name recognition as Broly. They used Gogeta. This movie made Gogeta canon with a huge entrance, but at the same time, it may have been the last hurrah, not only for Gogeta, but for Fusion as well. Because right after that, we go into the manga, where techniques and transformations have a much stronger focus than anything that we saw in the anime. In the Moro arc, we legitimately have a user of Ultra Instinct that trains Goku specifically in Ultra Instinct. That way he can go back into it, because at the end of the Super anime, he wasn't sure if he could go back into it on his own, and in the manga, he didn't have full control over it. So that shows that they, at that point, were, let's go full throttle Ultra Instinct and give Goku that. At the same time, they had to give Vegeta something, and they weren't ready to give him a transformation as of yet, so they decided for him to train on planet Yardrat and learn brand new techniques that would be really good against Moro. That leads us now into the Granola arc, where we have not only Goku using Ultra Instinct freely at this point, but at the same time Vegeta learns another technique, a transformation from Beerus, that puts him on a very similar equal footing level. Personally for me, with the focus on the transformation and the techniques with Ultra Instinct and Vegeta's Hakaishin form, I feel like the show overall is trying to move away from the fact that Fusion can win any fight and Fusion can solve every problem, because the question always lingers up in the air, well, why don't they just fuse and defeat the main character? And a lot of the history of Fusion has been riddled with this question, but we really only had the fact that Vegeta didn't like Fusion for that to be reason enough for him never to want to voluntarily go into it, but in Dragon Ball Super Broly, he voluntarily wanted to go into it, so now he should be okay with doing so. But I do believe that is the reason that Ultra Instinct is the mainstay here, not even perfected yet, because there's more levels of perfection, and Hakaishin Vegeta has gotten this new transformation that gives him God of Destruction abilities, because they are pushing into that new technique and transformation level, and the fusion that we've known, Potara and Fusion Dance, I believe are going to be taking a back burner, and if we ever do see fusion in those types again in the future, I think it's only going to be Gotenks, honestly. The only two characters that really need to be fused together to make any real difference. I think that's the only one that we kind of would see with the Fusion Dance, but at the same time, I'm hoping that in the future of Dragon Ball, Goten and Trunks get some love and they can kind of build their own characters alongside each other, and instead of just being Gotenks all the time. So does that mean that I believe that fusion as a whole is going to be completely gone from Dragon Ball? No, I do not believe that is the case, because fusion gives you a lot of avenues to create new characters, to create new variants, to have new hype for the Dragon Ball anime and the manga when a new fusion character comes up. But here is the difference. I think that they are 100% going to revamp fusion here in the near future, and I think that there are going to have two types of fusion that are going to be mainstays here in the future. Now, the first type of fusion is a replacement for Fusion Dance and Potara Fusion, and the reason that I'm saying that is because with the Fusion Dance, it takes a long time, supposedly, to learn and get that right, plus you have to be like the same height and stuff. There's restrictions to that fusion, so yeah, I believe that that one is going to be out. And then Potara Fusion, because you need the Kai's earrings and they're not always there, and at the same time, that fusion itself is seemingly unstable in Dragon Ball Super, I do believe that one is out as well. I think they're going to wash the board and bring out a brand new fusion option that doesn't have restrictions and has a set time limit that is set in canon and not retconned in the show, that can be its own thing, something new, something easy for characters to get into, that can bring a lot of different variants, and it's not just Goku and Vegeta fusing, but it's other characters as well, and with varying types of power levels. I think that's what's going to happen. That's the first type of fusion that I see. Don't know what it's going to be, but I think it's going to be replaced. Now, the second type of fusion that I do see is the Moro type of fusion. Now, do I believe that characters are going to be swallowing and deep-throating other characters to fuse like them? No, but I do think that absorption type fusion is never going to go away. I think that is probably one of the most common types of fusion in Dragon Ball. It is the bread and butter of the fusion world, and it's been here since Dragon Ball Z. So I do think that this type of fusion is going to be coming back in some way, shape, or form in the future with other different characters, other characters absorbing other characters, and then that's how you're going to get those variants like Moro did when he basically took other people's abilities and then he fused with 73, stuff like that. Like, I think that those absorption types of abilities are definitely still here to stay, but I do think that Dragon Ball Super as a whole is going to be pushing away and just kind of putting at a distance the Potara and the Fusion Dance, and I think the last big hurrah for those two is going to be Dragon Ball Super Broly. That is what I think. You guys are welcome to believe anything else. Please don't be mad at me if you guys love fusion, or at least those two types. Don't be mad at me. I like those fusions. I really do, but I think that this makes the most amount of sense. Because could you imagine a Vegeta in Hakaishin mode fusing with a Goku in Ultra Instinct and basically being a souped up God of Destruction Saiyan with Ultra Instinct? This character, I mean, it would break the rules of power scaling. It's not like I wouldn't want to see it. I think it'd be really, really cool. But it would just be such a... Like, it would just break... Like, people were so upset that Goku's still weaker than Broly and Beerus, that I believe that this... It's just too much of an expectation, I guess. They'd have to... It's too much numbers to crunch. It's too much of a... it's too much energy to put into trying to figure how strong this guy is. So I think that they're going to revamp it. I don't think we're going to see Gogeta for a while, or even Vegito. Would I like to see them? Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Could I be wrong? Possibly. But this is just my take. Let me know in the comments section below what you guys think of this whole situation. Do you guys think that Fusion's good, it's coming back, or it's not? Let me know in the comments below. This is going to be Blackscape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content. Or perish.